All right. So happy Friday. Um, just wanted to send a little message out today. We had our offsite a couple weeks ago. And as I was looking at the goals we set some pretty heavy goals. And when I looked at the calendar, we have about 65 working days, only 65, that go between the last meeting and the next meeting. So we came back, want to do a little branding. So we're calling this set of goals, get it done for 21. So the idea is to get these goals completed before our next offsite and figure, well, we're all stuck at home, working at home, can't really have the social events we want to have, don't have as much work as we used to have. Might as well just double down and get some of these big goals out of the way so that as we go into 21, we'll be set up for success, right? So this is kind of what we're working on. Just thought I'd give you a little heads up on how this works. So I've got at the beginning of the chain, we've got Gabe working on the sales units. The way we have the sales units today, there's a lot of things in there that don't work the way we'd like them to. So we're hoping to take those sales units and make them more flexible, be able to put more custom parts on them, be able to modify them easier, but also have those same sales units actually become the shop drawings. Right now, there's a conversion process we do that takes a little time, and it's something we'd like to get rid of. So Gabe and Katan and a few people are working on that piece of the puzzle. We met this week with Alan and Esley and Amber, working on how we create the details from the profile package. There's a lot of manual work to make those details. We used to send that off to Adventure in India to do. We had some people on Esley's team doing it. And now that it's just Amber and Esley, they're having to do it all. So we're trying to look and see, could we automate that and make that a quick, easy process where really nobody really has to do it? So we're working on that project. The next piece of the puzzle is shop drawings. So as we get through the main part of the sales and the setup, we have the shop drawing piece, right? So the two goals James is working on is one, trying to use that sales model as the basis for our mullion study, which would, back check the model, but give us a nice mullion study to submit to the customer for dimensional approval. And if the draftman is working on that at the same time, what that's going to do is give us the ability to sort of get answers to our questions earlier and utilize that time between the time we sell the job and when we have all the families ready, because right now that time isn't really used by drafting. So, and then the second step obviously is once we've got a good solid set of answers, we did some experiments on Lawson Lane and we were able to produce a very quality model in a very short amount of time, just a couple of weeks. So we think that if we do it this way, we can then shorten the shop drawing process quite a bit and get a better product for the downstream customers like Takeoff. As we build these models, both in sales and in operations, we're going to need a way to see them. We'd also like a way to tie our data into them. So that's the project that Zach has worked on and the stuff that Tina and Derek are working on with the new portal. The new portal, PM dashboard, tie right into the models. You can click on a button, takes you to your model. That model shows you progress on the model, shows you the weekly pallet schedule information. And we can tie a bunch of other data to that later, like purchasing information, things like that. So that's a big project we've been working on, and hopefully will come out of beta here in the next month or so. That also ties into another goal which we have, which is getting the sales model to talk directly to the portal, to take the data from the sales model and create an estimate from that, make all the estimating systems. So the estimator doesn't have to do the counting and things like that. They can go in and do the pricing, all the other stuff that is the more substantial piece of that estimate. And then the sales model could talk directly to the portal. And that new sales module is part of the portal launch that we're working on. Once we get through those pieces, we move downstream to the Takeoff group. We've been working on a project where the panels in the Revit model done in sales can then become the panels in the shop drawings done in operations, and then actually flow through the panel group directly into Inventor, create the unfolded sheets for the vendor, Pole, Americlad, whoever, right? So that's something that Sherman's team's been working on. We've made good progress on that goal, and one of the things we're hoping to wrap up before the next offsite. Lots of things. The other thing was the actual fab tickets themselves. We've been working on a game plan to sort of in between, the stuff Pedro and Joe have been doing to set up the data for the takeoffs and the tickets. We're looking at a stage 3 setup that would greatly reduce the time it takes to release the job once we get to tickets. So we're hoping to get to the point where any job we get, we can release in a week. No more weekly releases to go with the weekly fab in the shop, but basically a good solid setup that creates a process where we can release the job all at once and be done. No more week-to-week releases. So these are some of the things we're working on and how we're trying to tie this stuff together. In the shop, Chris has been working on how we do our doors, a process for getting the doors, fabricated, assembled, ship them out, get them painted, bring them back, put the hardware on them. That process has been working really well, and we're getting close to finishing that. And then he had another idea to sort of take all the material that we put in the kit racks and then pull out of the kit racks and put on the actual assembly racks, and now fabricate and go straight onto the assembly racks and skip all that extra movement and extra storage. And our first experiments on Stevens Creek worked out really well. He was able to do it. Looks like something we can do on all projects going forward if we get it set up right. We have the next gen W75 system, which ties into all this because a lot of that has a lot less fabrication, a lot less machines required. So that system will actually sort of feed into what Chris is trying to do in the shop. So that piece should be in place. We should be doing some testing on it at the end of the year. And then last but not least, Bobby's working with the field on standardizing how we do our embed layouts and embed installations, how we do the mat clips, and then how we do the sill runners. And all of those things, we've already done panels, kind of established that standard panel process, the units, the panels that go up on the building. But we were also working on how we do the other pieces to the unitized curtain wall, because that's one of the problems we have right now is we don't have those all kind of standardized. We don't have the times nailed down, and we want to be more exacting in terms of what that process looks like, and then be able to continually, improve that over time. So we have a lot of goals, a lot of things we're working on. Again, get it done for 21. So the idea is in this 65-day period, which we're now about 59 days or 58 days, we should be able to put this all together. And then if we can complete these things for the next meeting, we'll have a really nice basis to build off of. All the teams will be connected, and each of the teams will have a good basis to do their continuous improvement from. So that's our goal. Just want to kind of explain it. So if you hear about get it done for 21, this is what it is. And I just wanted to let you know that. So thanks a lot. See ya.